Hi, my name is Jim Wolf, and the topic for my argumentative essay is centered around school choice in America. Not a lot of people are familiar with school choice programs, and understandably so. In this country, only 14 out of our 50 states offer school choice programs to their citizens. Illinois is not one of them. If you happen to reside in one of those states, what that would mean is that as a parent, you would be not only allowed, but you would be empowered by the state to send your son or daughter to a school of your choosing. People use school choice programs for a few different reasons. Number one, sometimes the local public school just isn't up to par. It doesn't meet the hopes and expectations that parents have for their children. If that's the case, parents can choose to send their children to a different school. Sometimes students have a strong academic interest like math or science, or a strong interest in the arts like in theater. There are some amazing schools in this country that work hard to foster that interest, that work hard to instruct in that field. If you're a parent and your son or daughter falls into that category, you would have the choice to send your son or daughter to one of those schools. Finally, sometimes parents would like to send their children to a religious school. The thought process behind that being that they're looking for the same style and type of education for their son or daughter Monday through Friday as they're getting on Sunday or at home. Three really great reasons to take advantage of a school choice program. School choice programs actually have come into the forefront of discussion recently. President Donald Trump and his education secretary, Betsy DeVos, have been pushing states really hard to adopt school choice programs. Now, it is important to note it is not a federal government decision. It is up to the individual states to choose whether or not to offer school choice programs. That leads me to my contention, or to my thesis. My thesis is school choice is the right choice for states. It benefits them. It benefits their school system. It benefits the state finances, and it benefits the lives of the citizens of the state. So first, real quick, I'm gonna touch on those three subjects. School system. Few things can be empirically measured to determine if a type of school system is the right school system for a state. One of the ways that you can measure that is through academic performance. Two different studies. One study by a gentleman by the name of Dr. Gregory Foster. He conducted a study that he focused on how school choice programs affect local public schools. In his study, the study was titled "Win-Win: Empirical Evidence on School Choice." In his study, he looked specifically at 33 school choice destination high schools, meaning these were schools that when parents looked at those, had the option to send their children to any school, they looked at these 33 high schools and said, I want to send my kid to that school. When he studied the results, the academic performance of those 33 schools, 31 out of 33 schools had increased academic performance. The other two stayed flat, but 31 out of 33 had increased performance. That's a really strong percentage. It's hard to argue with a percentage that strong. The counter argument is valid to how school choice is going to affect a state school system. Some people would contend that there will be local public school, neighborhood schools that will close as a result of school choice programs, and they're not wrong. Some will close, and it might be a good thing for some of these schools. However, not all will close. In fact, another study conducted by the Cato Institute of Learning showed that in their study, 30 out of 42 public high schools had an increase in academic performance when faced with competition from other school choice high schools. 30 out of 42 improved. So let's talk about this real quick. Two different studies. One High schools where school choice was enacted, academic performance goes up. Another, high schools where school choice was not enacted, academic performance goes up. That truly does sound like a win-win for a state school system. We're going to talk a little bit about finances, about how state finances are positively influenced by school choice programs. There's a direct benefit and there is an indirect benefit. First, the direct benefit. Very simply, people who live within within school districts that have school choice as an offering, that they have a positive. The same study, the Foster study, showed that there was an improved fiscal impact on taxpayers and public school funding for those districts. 26 out of 29 showed improvement. An indirect financial benefit is that states will see their educational funding benefit more people. A state is financially responsible for providing education for all of their students. Some of those students have serious needs. Those needs may be educational, physical, they may be emotional needs. It can also be argued that there are students who have faith needs. Now, parents of children who have faith needs are not asking that their students be put above or separated from students who have educational, physical, or emotional needs. They're just asking to be included under that umbrella. That if the state is going to financially provide for someone's physical needs, that they can provide for their faith needs as well. I guess you could say, in that case, the educational dollar stretches to cover more people. Finally, the last thing that we're going to talk about is about how school choice programs benefit state citizens. And actually, one of the ways that we can talk about that is to recap. So, school systems benefit. It's natural to say that the students and the students' families benefit because the school systems benefit. Finances benefit. It can be said from that taxpayers benefit from school choice being introduced to their state. To further the conversation, I think what you can look at is what happens when school choice is not offered to citizens. If parents have a desire to send their kid to a different school, often that choice is made for them. They're not close enough. They can't afford it. They're not allowed to go to that school. With school choice, all the citizens can be supported by a program like that. Finally, to finish up here, one of the things I guess basically that I just want to restate is that there really is some strong evidence that school choice is the right choice for states. It is a complex topic. States generally have the same goal. Their goal is to educate students. But each state and the politicians within a state and the citizens of each state, they have a different value systems and beliefs. What I would like to see my paper or my essay, the way that I would like to see it influence you is that I would like you to do your own research, read up and learn as much about school choice systems as you possibly can, form your own opinions, and learn more about the politicians that you have to vote for, and place a value on that view and vote accordingly. So, thank you very much.